Nobody warned you about this part of life. Not your father. Not your friends. Not even your doctor. Everyone talks about retirement like it is one long vacation. The golden years. Fishing trips and grandkids and finally sleeping in. But if you are past 65, you already know the truth. These years can be the hardest ones you have ever faced. Harder than raising a family. Harder than 40 years of work. And here is the strange part. It is not your body that makes them hard. It is everything else. The silence. The way people talk to you now. The feeling that the world quietly moved on without asking you. In the next few minutes, I am going to share 6 things that separate the men who struggle through these years from the men who win them. And the last one is the thing most men figure out too late. Before we begin, do me one small favor. If you are over 65 and watching this, write in the comments which state you are watching from. You would be surprised how many good people are on this same road as you. Let us begin. The first thing winners do is simple, but most men never do it. They accept that life after 65 is a different game with different rules. Let me tell you about a man named Walter. 71 years old, from Pennsylvania. Walter spent 42 years as a machinist. He was the man people came to with problems. The man who fixed things. Then he retired, and within a year he felt like a stranger in his own life. The phone stopped ringing. His opinions stopped being asked for. His days lost their shape. Walter's mistake was not retiring. His mistake was trying to live his new life by his old rules. He kept waiting for the world to need him the way it used to. And every day it did not, he felt smaller. Here's the truth. At this stage, your worth is no longer measured by what you produce. It is measured by who you are when nobody needs anything from you. That is a hard shift. Your whole life, you were the provider, the worker, the strong one. Now the job is different. The job is to become the kind of man people feel calmer just sitting next to. The men who suffer after 65 are the ones still fighting for their old place in the world. The men who win are the ones who build a new place. Walter finally understood this when his grandson said something simple. "Grandpa, I don't care what you did. I just like being with you." That sentence changed his life. Not doing was now the work. Stop fighting the change. That is step 1. But acceptance alone is not enough, because the next challenge is one that catches every man off guard. Here is something nobody tells you. The most dangerous thing about life after 65 is not illness. It is empty days. For 40 years, your life had a structure. Wake up, work, come home, repeat. You may have hated it some days, but that structure was holding you up like the frame of a house. Take the frame away, and the house starts to sag. Slowly, quietly. A man named Raymond, 68, from Ohio, learned this the hard way. First year of retirement, he told himself he had earned the right to do nothing. So, he did nothing. Sleep late. I watch television. Tell him tomorrow he will start walking, start that garage project, call that old friend. Tomorrow came and went, again. Within a year, Raymond barely recognized himself. Not sick. Just faded. Then he did one small thing. He gave his mornings a shape again. Up at the same time every day. Coffee, then a 30-minute walk, rain or shine. Breakfast. One task for the day, just one. Fix the fence. Write a letter. Clean the shed. That is nothing fancy. But within a few months, Raymond felt like a man again. Because the routine is not a schedule. It is self-respect, repeated daily. You do not need a busy life. You need a shaped life. Wake at the same hour. Move your body every morning. Give every single day one purpose, even a small one. The men who drift, sink. The men with a shape to their days, stand. But even a strong routine will not protect you from the next problem. Because the next one does not come from inside you. It comes from the people closest to you. Somewhere after 65, something strange happens. People start talking to you differently. Slower, louder, simpler. Your own children begin making decisions around you instead of with you. Dad, you don't need to worry about that. Dad will manage it. They usually mean well. But listen carefully, Every time you let it slide, you teach people how to treat you. And it only moves in one direction. There was a man named Frank, 73, from Texas. Good man, raised 3 kids, never asked anyone for anything. But at family dinners, his son started answering questions that were asked to Frank, talking over him, correcting him on trivial things. Frank stayed quiet because he did not want trouble. One evening, his son reached over and started cutting the roast on Frank's plate, without asking. And Frank, calmly, put his hand on his son's wrist and said, "Son, I have taught you how to use a knife. I still remember how." He did not shout. He did not sulk. He said it once, with a small smile, and went back to his dinner. And something shifted at that table. Not anger. Respect. That is the lesson. You do not defend your dignity with arguments. You defend it with calm, short sentences, said once. "I'll decide that. I heard you for the first time. Thank you, but I've got it." Your family will treat you exactly as respectfully as you quietly require them to. Not one bit more. Now, the next point is about something even more personal than respect. It is about the people you allow close to you in these years, because at this stage, that choice matters more than it ever has. Pause for a second. If anything, so far has sounded familiar, you are not alone. Thousands of men your age are nodding along right now. And this next point is the one many of them needed years ago. Here it is after 65, your time is no longer ordinary time. It is the most valuable thing you own. Which means every person in your life is either adding to these years or draining them. There is no neutral anymore. You know the people I mean. The friend who only calls when he needs something. The relative brings a storm cloud into every room. The neighbor whose every conversation is a complaint. When you were 40, you had energy to spare for people like that. You do not anymore, and that's not weakness. That is mathematics. A man named Harold, 69, from Michigan, put it perfectly. He said, "I spent my whole life being available to everyone. Now I am available to 5 people. And I've never been happier." 5 people. His wife, 2 old friends, his daughter, and a fishing friend. That was his whole circle. And it was enough. It was more than enough, because every one of those relationships was real. Small circle does not mean lonely. A small circle of true people beats a crowd of half people every single time. So, here is your permission if you need it. You are allowed to stop returning some calls. You are allowed to skip some gatherings. You are allowed to protect your peace like the treasure it is. The people who matter will still be there. The people who vanished were never there. But be careful, because there is a trap hiding inside this point, and it is the trap the next lesson is about. Here is where some men go wrong. They hear, "protect your peace," and they slowly close every door. They stop calling anyone. Stop going anywhere. They tell themselves they prefer it this way. But deep down, a closed door and a peaceful room are not the same thing. Loneliness in these years does not arrive like a storm. It arrives like dust. Slowly, quietly, a little more each month, until one day you realize you have not had a real conversation in weeks. And here is the hard truth. Nobody is coming to fix that for you. Your kids are busy. Your old coworkers scattered. If you want connection after 65, you must build it yourself, on purpose. A man named Gene, 74, from Florida, lost his wife and spent 2 years mostly in silence. What saved him was not anything big. It was a Tuesday morning coffee group at a local diner. 4 or 5 older fellows, nothing formal. He almost did not go the first time. I felt awkward standing at the door. He went anyway. That one small yes gave him back his weeks. Because now Tuesday means something. And a man who has one day that means something can build a second one. So keep your circle small, but keep it alive. Call one person a week. Show up to one thing, even when you do not feel like it, especially when you do not feel like it. Be the one who reaches out first. At this age, the man who reaches out first is not the weak one. He is the brave one. And that brings us to the decisive point. The one I said most men learn too late. If you take only one thing from this whole video, let it be this. Here is the quiet mistake that steals more of these years than illness, loneliness, and disrespect combined. Waiting. waiting to feel better before you take the trip, waiting for the kids to visit before you feel wanted, waiting for some sign that it is not too late. Men spend 2, 5, 10 of these precious years in the waiting room of their own life, as if the real living will resume at some point once conditions improve. Listen to me. Conditions will not improve by waiting. Today, with your aches and your gray hair and your quiet house, this is not the leftover part of your life. This is your life. Still running. Still yours. A man named Arthur, 76, from Colorado, kept a note taped to his bathroom mirror. 7 words. You are not done. Act like it. He reads it every morning while shaving. And he lived like it. Planted a garden at 74. I learned to bake bread at 75. Taking his grandson camping at 76. Moved slower than he used to, laughing harder than he ever had. Arthur understood something most men do not. Winning these years does not mean pretending you are young. It means refusing to be finished. There is a difference between an old man and a finished man. Age makes you the first one. Only surrender makes you the second. So, whatever you have been putting off, the phone call, the hobby, the small adventure, the time for it is not someday. A man your age has earned the right to stop waiting for permission. So, there it is. Accept that the game has changed. Give your days a shape. Require respect with calm words. Keep your circles small but keep it alive. And stop waiting. You are not done. The years after 65 are hard. Nobody should pretend otherwise. But hard has never scared you before. You have buried people you loved, carried families on your back, and gotten up every morning for decades when it would have been easier not to. You know how to work hard. This is just the definitive version of it, and you can win this one too. You have earned your peace. Do not let anyone take it from you. And do not dare take it from yourself. If this spoke to you, subscribe, because next week, I am sharing the 5 people you must quietly remove from your life after 65, even if they are family. That one is going to hit home. Take care of yourself. I will see you in the next one.